Hello guys, it's Teenage Marvel Fan back in the video, and one of the biggest questions about the upcoming Marvel movie Black Widow is who is Taskmaster, because we don't really know who's under the mask. Yeah, sure, the most obvious choice would be it's Tony Masters, because that's who Taskmaster is in the comics, but things are always changed in the MCU and in these movies, so it doesn't necessarily have to be Tony Masters. There's tons of different people that could be under the mask. And of course, there's all kinds of theories and speculation and rumors out there that people have come up with of maybe it's Melina, maybe it's Yelena Belova, maybe it's Mason. Also Hawkeye. Some people think it's Hawkeye, or I saw one thing today that was saying maybe it's Eric Killmonger, which I doubt it, but I mean, that'd be cool. But the whole thing about it being either Melina or Yelena, those are some good guesses, and I think it would be cool if that was the case. And sure, there's evidence to support the Taskmaster as a female, but I think people are just overthinking it too much, because the most obvious choice for this to be is Mason. Because Mason, on the newly released poster, we saw him on the poster, and the actor's name was up on the top, and the actors and actresses that have their names on the top, those are like the main characters of the movie. But we haven't seen him in any of the trailers or anything like that yet, and pretty much all we know about the character is that his name is Mason. We don't even know his last name. And we know that he's a possible love interest to Natasha, and he's good with weapons. So, like I said, he's the most obvious choice because we haven't seen him, but maybe we have seen him because he's Taskmaster, and that's why we haven't seen him at all. Also, the other day on, it was either Instagram or Twitter, maybe both, I'm not really sure, the actor posted the trailer. I don't know, he posted something having to do with the movie, and then he did hashtag TM, and TM is Taskmaster, so that just adds fuel to the fire that this is Mason. But who is Mason? Because I don't think it's anyone from the comics. I mean, it might be, but sometimes characters are adapted from the comics, and characters in the movies are just based on them, and sometimes they can even be a mixture of characters from the comics. So, my theory is that this is Mason, but that it's not just Mason, because, you can't just have a first name. Well, actually, I guess you can, because, there's Beyonce and Cher and, stuff like that. But, I mean, this character has to have a last name. But what is the character's last name? So, some people I've seen saying that Mason is Taskmaster, that his name isn't really Mason, and that he's actually Tony Masters, and Mason is just like a disguise name. So, I think that's a good point, and it's possible, but I still think that his name is Mason, and this is not Tony Masters. But a way that they could tie this into Tony Masters is, actually, before I get into that, the reason people are saying that maybe this is Tony Masters is because in the comics there's an alternate version of Tony Masters that is Taskmaster, and he looks kind of similar to this actor. So that is definitely a possibility. But what I think is going on here is that, like I said, he's just Mason. He's not Tony Masters. But a way to tie him into Tony Masters is that he is Mason Masters. And maybe he is Tony Masters' brother or cousin or father or something. And it could be a story where maybe his father, say that Tony Masters was Mason Masters' father. Then maybe he was the head of the Red Room, and he was the original Taskmaster. But then something happened to him. Maybe he died. Tony Masters died. And then Mason Masters took over for him and became the Taskmaster. So that would be a great way to please everybody, because there's always those fans that are super strict about the comics and are like, it has to be super comic accurate, and like, if this isn't Tony Masters, then I'm gonna be mad. So this is a way to have Taskmaster not be Tony Masters, but also be Tony Masters at the same time, because there's the original Taskmaster, which would be Tony Masters. So that's just my idea, and I think that will be an interesting way of playing out this character of Mason, and having him be Taskmaster, but also having Tony Masters be Taskmaster. But what do you think about this theory that I have? Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and do you agree with this? First of all, do you even think that Mason is Taskmaster, and do you think that he is Mason Masters? Because I really think this is a good idea, and I think it might be happening in the movie, but I don't know. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video, so I can bestow all Marvel knowledge upon you.